The visual novel-styled art of Ar Tonelico, a series that spans over 3 games that revolves around the power of songs and the in-depth psychology of their main characters. Today we're going to look at the character designs, illustrations and animations of Ar Tonelico, Melody of Elemia, Melody of Metafalica and Knell of Ar Ciel. Ar Tonelico, Melody of Elemia was the first in the series and set the stage in transforming songs into powerful magics that one can unleash on their foes. The basic setting of the story is about the world of Ar Ciel, which ground and sky were struck by 2 large catastrophes. These events forced the people to live in cities that are high above the ground, attached to the Tower of Ar Tonelico. Although the survivors has lost much of their knowledge and technology, Liner, a knight of Elemia, has concerned himself with mitigating viruses that are terrorizing the kingdom. He soon finds himself protecting the Raventails Misha and Aurica, powerful song maidens that have the ability to sing in the Hymmos language. These songs are in direct contact with the tower and allows them to strengthen their magical support and attack spells during singing. This team will have to synchronize their efforts if they want to find out what the causes of the mysterious viral outbreak. The character designs are quite unique and memorable. They have big eyes and relatively large heads when compared to their elegant body structure. Because of this, the characters seem to be quite tall with especially long legs in contrast to their upper body. They have modern style clothing, some with mecha designs, knights with broad shoulder pads, western designs with big guns, and ranging from sky pirate style to traditional eastern designs with elegant silk-like clothing. Because all the styles are modernized, they fit well together, creating a cohesive, believable world. Of course, there are exceptions. Story-wise, some of these outfits only fit in the world of the Cosmosphere and are fourth wall breaking, with nods to Japanese school life, magic girls and other things. When we look at the art style of Ar Tonelico, the first thing that comes to mind is the soft and gentle use of colors. It reminds me of a pastel color palette containing light toned shadows with softer tones in its transition, creating a gradient. Besides this, the artist added strong highlights on the skin to emphasize curved areas such as the cheeks. Zooming in, the line art is curved with soft corners. Furthermore, it doesn't use pure black for the outline, thus integrating well with the rest. Ar Tonelico 2 Melody of Metafalica made it possible for 2 Ravens to synchronize their songs to unleash an even more powerful spell than before. Similar to the previous story, the cities float high above the Sea of Death and is disconnected in any form of communication with the rest of the world. This time around we follow the young knight Croy, who is responsible to contain IPDs, Raventails whose powers went out of control and killed innocent bystanders. However, after an attack on the resort of the Holy Maiden, Cloche, he becomes her bodyguard and has to bring her back to the Grand Bell. Nevertheless, the Sacred Army has opposite beliefs and claims that his childhood friend Luca is the true Holy Maiden. During these struggles, the girls have to combine their efforts to reclaim the legendary utopia of Metafalica. Without a doubt, the art style did continue to follow the same trend as the first, using soft colors and edges. Furthermore, some clothing, especially the armor, have this gentle shadow layer on top to emphasize its metal properties. Nevertheless, the contrast is amped up a bit, making the characters slightly more 3-dimensional. Maybe this is because they used a more yellow toned skin color. The designs between the younger and older cast differ mainly in the use of their jawlines and body proportions. Besides this, I think the artist did an excellent job in portraying the character personalities in this installment. To elaborate, in case of Cloche, she has this stern look on her face, of course explained in the game with her stressful background. But they keep this trait well represented in the art. You will never see her smile as big as Luca. In all their dual shots it's clear which personality is who, even if you don't know them. This type of design is also apparent in Jack Lee, who, without a doubt, shows her personality with one glance. Even though the biggest giveaways of emotion are the mouth and body language, in this case it's their eyes. Cloche and Jack Lee have smaller and slightly less brighter eyes than Luca. All juvenile jokes this series known for aside, we have to acknowledge that the artists know how to draw fan service. And in all honesty, that's also an important thing that makes these light novel styled games so appealing to brighten up the dark themes. Plus, this is a good excuse for the artists to go wild on the custom designs. When I compare the chibi style of the first game with the second, I prefer the first installment a bit more with its soft touches and human-like proportions. Ar Tonelico Qoga, Knell of Ar Ciel took the series to a new graphical level and changed the combat system from turn-based to real-time. The story zooms in on the journey of Auto, a young steeplejacker princess who saves a girl named Saki from soldiers. However, they have to leave his hometown as they keep getting pursued by more of them. Soon, Saki uses her song power to turn these soldiers into cakes. These events open up the curiosity of the group to investigate their powers, only to find out that they get entrapped into a fate that could decide for their world to be destroyed. Although at first glance the art may seem similar to the other 2 games, there is a distinct difference. Here they use a brighter color palette and more angular line art. This emphasizes the highlights and subsequently resonates energy into the works. To expand on, the discrepancies between highlights and shadows are stronger, popping certain areas off the screen. When we zoom in on the line art, the chins and hair points are sharper than before. Even though they're still dark in outline, some of them fade away depending on the focus point. The character design and proportions also follow the same pattern as the previous installments. Modern designs with classical looks that fit well into the world of Ar Ciel. When we compare, the basic takeaway is that the series slightly changed its art style, mainly in increasing the color saturations. One more thing to note though, this game did go beyond the fan service, which I think is a bit of a pity, because this sacrifices the believability of other aspects such as character development, world building and story. In an artistic sense, if I had to choose, I like the character design of the first, the colors from the third and the personalities from the second game. What do you think? For the fans who want to explore more of the series, there are light novels, OVAs and mangas available. They feature the major plot points of the stories, but not as much as the in-depth dive sequences into the cosmosphere as we have seen in the games. That said, the art delivery by these mediums are high quality, so they might be worth to check out. I'm fancy light novel author GP Fuchs, and I must say the music of Ar Tonelico is phenomenal. It contains upbeat, mysterious and thrilling songs that have such a unique style and language that you want to revisit them. Therefore I also listen to the fan-made Hymmos Chronicles during content creation, which you might enjoy as well. And be sure to check out my RPG inspired books on my author page and subscribe to my channel for regular in-depth sales of manga artists of our favorite video games.